It's like 1 a.m. right now. I just got back from going out dancing on Broadway. So this is like get unready with me, I guess. But I wanted to talk about something, but not too loud because I don't want to wake up my sister. But I posted like some TikToks today that was just me like talking. It wasn't that serious. It was just me talking for longer than like 2 seconds. And like I had to like do some soul searching after that because I was so disturbed by the idea of me like speaking when not spoken to. Like, I don't know, I feel like everyone these days is like, oh, I want to be an influencer, blah blah blah. I never wanted to do that. Like, I wanted to do music, right? And I kind of just like fell into being a social media person just because I was doing music with my sisters and like we were doing it on the internet. But it's not something that's natural to me at all because I'm like very much an introvert. I'm like less shy now, but I was very shy. I was like a teenager and like a tween, whatever, and I would not speak in like a group setting or with people I didn't know unless someone like directly spoke to me, because I have this thing where I'm like, who cares? Like like even now I have almost 70,000 followers on TikTok, and yet me even making this, I'm like, nobody cares. Like, why are you telling people this when no one asked and no one cares? And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, no one cares. Like, I genuinely am like, why am I gonna tell people things that no one asked about? But I'm realizing, well, yeah, I realized today in doing some of my soul searching about why this is so disturbing, is that it kind of goes along with like the work I've been doing on like my social anxiety of like, where like when I notice it coming up in certain situations, I'm like, wait, I'm allowed to do this thing. Like, I'm in the grocery store and like, oh, I'm taking a long time to like pick something and look at stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is weird, like, why am I sitting here so long? And I'm like, wait, I'm allowed to think at the grocery store. I'm allowed to stand here for like an hour actually and just look at the different options. I'm allowed to think for as long as I need to. I'm allowed to do this. I'm allowed to be here. I'm allowed to exist as a person. Like, my therapist is like, you're allowed to take up space. And I feel like, I mean, a lot of people, most people probably feel that way, but like, especially being like a shy person, like introvert, it's like, it's easy to feel like everyone's so loud and like they're telling their story and you're fine just being like the listener. It's fine. Like, I like listening. I like hearing what other people have to say. I like supporting people and encouraging them, whatever. But it's like, you are allowed to be a person too. You are allowed to have problems too. And you're allowed to talk when no one actually asked you anything or said anything. You're allowed to just say something that's on your mind, even though no one asked. So yeah, it feels weird to say this. I feel like people are gonna come at me like, you're worth it, we love you. I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to say like everyone hates me. I know they don't. It's just like a mental problem where it's like, I know people follow me and like me. I know that. But I'm still like, no one cares. And that's like not real thinking. So I literally had to like walk myself through like, what is this thought process that's happening? Why do I feel so disturbed? Just because I posted 2 videos of me just talking that were like kind of long and no one asked for. And I had to tell myself, as someone that has been like on the internet for like 15 years at this point, like, you are allowed to just make random videos for fun, and no one has to care and no one has to ask, and it doesn't actually matter if anyone likes them. You're allowed to just do what you want to do for fun, and no one actually has to approve of it. You are allowed to just do things because you are a person. Like, you have that right, you get to do it. So even now I'm like, ew, I can't post this is dumb. I'm like, ew, this is like too vulnerable, and people are gonna be like, oh, blah, 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 in the comments, and like, it's okay. And I think that I need to just get over it and let myself live and just do things that I want to do, and not everyone has to care, and like, no one asked, and that's okay, because also no one has to watch anything that I post or anything that you post for that matter. They can just scroll away. Doesn't really matter. So I don't know if this was really like a real stream of thought, is that the word? Because it's 1 a.m. and I don't know if that made any sense. And I'm like, ew, why am I doing this? But I think we just went over that, so